Hey everybody. I'm sorry I forgot to turn my other phone off, but I hope everybody's doing well. I'm back for the second time. Well, I'm gonna be on here like 3 times this week because we're gonna be coming back Thursday for our conversation. But I wanted to. This is in my spirit last night. I want to start this series. I'm just gonna get on Instagram right quick, you guys. I hope everybody's doing well today. Before I just dive right in, um, I'm on YouTube Live, LinkedIn, um, Wisdom app. Instagram. I'm trying to sit my, I didn't waste coffee on my shirt this morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Happy Tuesday. It's not Wednesday. Happy Tuesday. And we know that we're going to be coming back on Thursday for What's Your Therapy conversations. But today, I want to start a new series, and it was in my spirit last night, and I was talking about it last night. Thank you for joining on Instagram, Rosa. Is it Rosa Love Me? Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody on the Wisdom app coming in, jumping in, and everyone on LinkedIn and YouTube. You all, I'm starting a new series. You all know that we are having a panel tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about committing to your season, and we're going to have some professional women on there, some professional entrepreneurs on there talking about committing to our season. But we're also going to be doing another panel, which will be women in leadership, and so it will be at the end of the month. And it's also going to be on a Wednesday, so it's probably going to be a week after the Committed to Your Season panel on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Remember, if you would like to come to the panel and receive a link, it is $10. It's only 25 slots available now, so you would pay $10 to listen to the panel. So this will be for the panel on tomorrow and the relationship panel. So I wanted to come in and talk a little bit about it, you guys, while it was still on my mind fresh or whatever. I've been going to be jotting down some notes and taking some notes. And you all do not want to miss the panel. You definitely don't want to miss the panel tomorrow, but just talking about relationships. And we're going to be talking about, preparing to be a wife or preparing to be a husband before you meet your spouse. And there was some conversations that I want to have. There were some opinions of mine, and we all can talk about it. And I'm also going to be taking applications to see who would like to be a speaker on the relationship panel. So we're going to be getting some relationship coaches and things, reaching out to relationship coaches and see who would like to share insight and share details about the relationship panel. And like I said, that would be it will be either next week or week after next. I know it will be closer to the end of the month when we have the relationship panel. So I will give you guys more update on that. But tomorrow is the Women in Leadership Commit to Your Season panel. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. So if you would like to watch, sign up, send me your email. Email me. I will send you the link, and you will pay your $10 entry fee. We're gonna have Q&A. We're going to talk about committed to your season. What is it like to be in leadership as a woman? I'm sorry, you all, if you hear my other device going off, I did not turn it off. But anyway, today I wanted to come in because I want to take a quick break this morning because I am doing some things and I am working. Also wanted to talk about again, the relationship panel and series that I'm going to do. I don't know if it's going to be a part two or part three, but we'll see how part one goes. But I know this is something that we had did, or something that I had did last year, and something I actually did in 2020. I had did a mini series on Periscope. You all know we don't have Periscope anymore. They do have some live beat things going on there for Twitter. So you all. So let me just share with you all, and you all can feel free to chime in, come in and share if you like. So, I was thinking about relationships, and I think about relationships often because I'm single and I am desiring to be married. And so we know that something that we desire, we have to make sure that we are already stepping into that role before we even, meet our spouse or before we even meet someone that even have a potential. So anyway, I was discussing, talking a little bit about this yesterday about how a lot of men. I'm not going to say women may say this too. There may be women that's like this, but I know lately, and for the last couple of years, I've heard a lot of men say that they would like to be um, already established. They already want to be fully established, or they want to be a fully mentally ready. Basically, they're saying that they want to make sure that their mind is together. They want to make sure that they're together business wise. So they want to be together mentally and physically. I do definitely agree with being, making sure that you are mentally ready to get married and to take on a spouse. Because it's for, because it's long time. It's when you get married, that's it. Um, so you have to think ahead and you have to think down the road. You know, you have to be like, okay, this is going to be the person that I'm going to be with until it's time for both. Until it's time for both of us to pass on. We're going to be together until then. And the thing about it is that when we join with someone and when we make a covenant, it's no running away or I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to be around you or anything. Granted, when you're in a relationship, you do have to have time for space. You do have to have time for space to yourself. You do because you do need to. You do need to learn how to be together apart. Is what I'm saying. You need to learn how to be together apart because you're going to be in working in one area. You're going to be in business. You're going to be doing whatever you need to do in life, which is connected to your purpose. And then and then your spouse is going to be doing the same thing. So there's going to be times where you're not going to always be able to be together because there will be opportunities that arise. There will be some things that you will be doing together, but then there may be some things purpose wise that you may be doing apart. But you're still rooting, what I'm saying, each other on and making sure you're supporting one another. And so we're going to talk about, you know, being ready already, if that makes sense, being ready to be that wife, being ready to be that husband before, because what you're doing now and how you're doing things now determines how you're going to be in your marriage and when you do meet your spouse. Everything is going to be new, so we don't expect to do everything or know, 100%, the do's and the don'ts or whatever, because there's still going to be problems. There's still going to be issues that may arise. There's going to be things that you're going to find out about your spouse that you really didn't realize. But and sometimes when we're getting to know one another, we think that we know enough and we thinking that we know everything. But then there's some things that's going to come into play, when you get married. So anyway, we're going to be talking about these things and about um, men and how they perceive themselves as pursuing their wife or what they need to do before they pursue their wife, because there are a lot of men that are well, I'm gonna say this, there are some men that are not pursuing yet because they don't think that they're ready to pursue yet because of whatever the case may be or whatever they may be dealing with mentally or maybe dealing with physically. There's a lot of men that are entrepreneurs and business owners, and they got a lot of responsibilities. Not only that, you got some men and women who already have a family, so they already have children, and so it's like learning is like turning that cover, learning to how I'm going to balance it all and how I'm going to put the two and two together because I got to make sure that, when I take on, I'm talking versus men, I'm talking about men now. So that man is saying, I got to make sure that I'm able to provide. I need to make sure that I'm able to be a protector. I need to make sure that I'm able to be there for her mentally and physically. And some men don't think that they're capable of being there mentally and physically for their spouse yet because of some things that maybe that they have been through or some things that they may be working through. Now let's talk about business wise. I'm not going to talk a lot about the mental capacity right now because I don't want to give all of the conversations away for the relationship panel. But what I'm saying is that let's talk business. So a lot of us are pursuing, or a lot of us is working as entrepreneurs, and we already have businesses that has been established. Some of us are still in the process of our business climbing and progressing and stuff like that. And I don't know, and I want to definitely hear from the women. So what I think that I'm definitely going to do, you all, while I'm talking about this, I want to have some women and men on the relationship panel. And so I'm thinking that we may do it 2 weeks from now because I want to hear both perspectives. I want to hear the man perspective. I want to hear the woman perspective. And so that's actually what I'm going to be working on for the rest of the week, getting that relationship panel together. But my opinion based off men in business, and like I said, there may be some women that feel like this or feel the same way. But I know that I have heard a lot of men that's in business and they're well capable of, doing whatever they need to do. I have known some men to put their business first before anything. It's like business first and then everything else second. In my opinion, and I don't want to talk a lot about it because I want to be able to, share with you all too on the panel. But my opinion is if you are married, and I learned this from just listening to conversations. I was watching some relationship panels on TV. I was listening to a therapist. No, he was a psychiatrist and he was a relationship therapist. And he took three couples on a retreat. But anyway, I won't get into that. But one thing that he said was that the lady's husband was married to his work first, and then she was second, and then the family third. So he was like, basically, he was saying, "Oh, you're married to two people," and so the man was looking around like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" Like he didn't even realize what he was talking about, and he was like, "You can't be married to your wife and your work at the same time." And so I wholeheartedly agree with that. And that was just confirmation to me because that's something I talk about relationships regularly, you guys. And so that is something that I had brought up and I had thought about, even with the things that I desire and the things that I want to accomplish with, what I'm saying, my future spouse. I was saying that, even going into um, a relationship, I don't want to be second or third. I don't want to have to be competing with your work or competing with your business because that is the forefront of you. Granted, we have dreams and goals. I'm not knocking that because I want to be able to support my husband and I want my husband to be able to support me. But I do believe that we can grow together. And there's some things that I can initiate in him and help him with as far as purpose wise. And there's going to be some things that he's going to initiate with me and push me into further into my purpose. Like we're already working in our purpose. We're already business owners and entrepreneurs. But I have heard a lot, and I've listened to a lot of conversations. I've heard a lot of men say that I want to be established. I'm trying to build a legacy for my family so we can already be straight, so we can already be there. So they're saying no longer how it take, no longer no matter how long it takes, like 10, 15 years, they're saying they're going to wait those 10 years. They're saying if it has 10 or 15 years, they're going to have to wait that 10, 15 years before they pursue their wife. This is the thing. Do you desire a wife first? Do you desire a wife more importantly, or you're just so basically you're not building on the foundation of already being a husband now because you're too busy building your foundation just on your business. So it's like, when are you going to have time to prepare to start pursuing and seeking your wife? When are you going to become, and those things that you are dealing with, or those things that you feel like you need to deal with, as far as being a husband, when are you going to have time to deal with those things if you're too busy building your business and that's it? you know and when I listen to that that when I listened to that TV show, I got to thinking. I was like, that is something that I usually talk about. And for me, you guys, this is just for me. And like I said, that's why I want to have women and men on the panel, because I want to hear their opinions and I want to hear how they feel. For me, my desire is for us to build together. I don't want your work. I don't want your business. I don't want your business to be number one. I'm sorry, you guys. My phone is ringing. I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna have to wait until it stops ringing and then I'm gonna finish because I don't want to get up. I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot to turn all my gadgets. I got more than one phone, y'all. I got a personal phone, business phone. Got 2 or 3 tablets. Y'all know how it is in business and you're working a 9 to 5. But anyway, as I was saying that my desire, I mean, I don't want you to be married to your work. And like I said, there may be some women like that. They like, hey, I'm trying to get it. I'm focusing on this right now, and I'm not thinking about preparing myself. I'm not thinking about doing, wifely duties now or this and this and that. The thing about it is, you don't wait until you meet your spouse. You don't wait until you meet that person. You start doing the things that you need to do now. Just like, as a believer, you know, you already should be start covering your spouse or praying for your spouse. But this is the thing, like I said, that I know just from my experience, and I don't know what you all experiences is, but from my experience, for the last 3 or 4 years, that's all I have heard. Like, yeah, well, I don't have time. And there was one particular conversation that I listened to, and these are single people who desire to get married and are waiting to get married. So one gentleman was like, I don't want something to be wrong. I don't want to be working in my business, or I don't want to be busy doing something. And then my spouse called and I have to worry about what's going on with her. And then I got to stop what I'm doing to go see about her. So this is the thing. Is your wife number one? Is your wife more important than the business, or is you putting your business first? And is your business more important than your wife? Going to see about your wife. And I was sharing this with someone last night as we was just talking in general, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna have to do a relationship panel because it's just something that was just deep down in my heart." Because I definitely want to hear the other men and other women, other single men and other single women's perspective. And you know what, you all, we may even have a married couple on there. You never know. But I'm excited about doing this because we want to hear each other's perspective on this. And so the thing about it is that, you know, when you have God at the forefront of your business and marriage and everything else, you shouldn't worry about anything falling. Even if something do fall through the cracks, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to pick that up with the help of your spouse. And this is the thing. I mean, I would never say that because, like I said, for me, an example, I would, if something is going on with my husband, and like I said, you all, I'm single. But if something was going on with my husband and it was something very serious, and even if he just not having a good day, and we know that mental illness is, big now. And there's a lot of pressure that weighs on the man. There's a lot of pressure that weighs on the women. We're not taking from each other. But this is the thing. If my husband is not good and I'm in the middle of doing something, I could be in an important meeting. It could be the biggest opportunity of my life. But to me, I feel like that is a test. That is a test of your faith. That is a test of your faith in your marriage and what you're going to do and what you're going to put. So if something is going on, just like my children, if something is going on, and like I said, I could be in the middle of a meeting in the biggest opportunity of my life, but if my spouse needs me, oh, this is gonna have to wait. I have to go. I have an emergency because I need to make sure that he's good. I need to make sure my children is good. Whatever that opportunity, if that opportunity doesn't wait for me, then guess what? That opportunity must not be meant for me because my family comes first. First is God, and then it's my family, and then it's my business. Because guess what? He lent all of that to me, and that's just my persona, and that's just my perspective. And that's just how I feel, but a lot of people think that, yeah, let me do, and I understand why you're single. You are building and building, and you're doing everything that you need to do. Because you already know when you do come together with your spouse, there's going to be a lot of juggles with balancing things and making things fit. I get that, and I get that you want things to grow, but sometimes things don't really start flourishing until you know meet your spouse, because like I said, it could be something that you need from your spouse, and it's going to be vice versa. You're both going to be needing something for each other as far as purpose wise. You're already building your purpose, you're already working in your purpose, but there's just not there's just going to be some things that's going to flourish when you're together and when you're one. And that's just, what I'm saying, my persona. And I know that it would be, maybe some people agree and some people don't. And that's why I'm excited about this relationship panel, because I know that there's going to be some different perspectives on men and women. Or there may be some women that feel just like the men. Like, look, I need to get everything all together. This is me. This is my opinion. This is me personally. Y'all, we ain't gonna never have everything 100% together. I'm just gonna go and tell you. I don't care what we're doing. I don't care what we're building and progressing. Um, we just got to know that everything ain't gonna be 100% together. But guess what? They're gonna work. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's gonna work together. It's gonna work together for your good anyway. But just know that it's not gonna be 100%, and we can't get upset and we can't get frustrated if things is not 100%. So the thing about it is, what are you doing now to become that wife? What are you doing now to build yourself up in that wifely character? What are some things that we are selfish of that we need to stop being selfish of? What are some things that we need to change? We talked about change and stuff like that too. What are some things that we need to change, or what are some things that we need to add to our life before we step into that role of being a wife, or before you step into that role of being a husband? Because like I said, there are just a lot of conversation. Now, I guess, like I said, I don't mean to put it on the men you all, but this is just some of the conversations. It's just some of the things that I have listened to that came out of men's mouth, and they're just like, they don't want to have to be worrying about A, B, C, and D, and E because they too busy building their business. And like I said, I'm all for that, but I don't agree about being married. Like that therapist said, I don't agree about being married to you're married to your work, and you're married to your spouse at the same time, which makes it very difficult to be there for your spouse, if that makes sense. I don't know how many people um feel this way, but like I said, as if I could do a poll now, it would be more men on the scale that would say that than women. I mean, that's just my prediction. And see, you know what, y'all, I'm probably even gonna do a poll today because I want to know. And that's why, it's important to talk to men and women and get other men and women and get their perspective on how they feel and what they think concerning um, relationships and already being ready. Like, and it's good that a person is being honest and saying, hey, I'm not ready because I'm just too focused on my business. I'm not going to give my spouse that quality time, my future spouse that quality time that they think they need because I'm too busy. So when they say they're not ready to pursue, that's good that you're being honest and you're saying that, but you got to understand this. Your spouse is not going to wait forever either. Your spouse is not going to wait another 10 or another 15 years. And I don't know, it may be some people that are willing to do that. But the thing about it is, you got to take in consideration, do I really desire to? This is the thing that we need to ask ourselves too. This is something that I asked myself before. And when I asked myself, it was a little scary at first, but it's real. Do Am I really ready for marriage? That's the sometimes you gotta sit down by yourself and meditate and just be like, am I really ready for marriage? What are some things that I'm doing that I need to stop doing? What are some things that I need to start doing? What are some things that I need to work on? We're always working on ourselves every day. But that question is real and it hits home when when you're sitting down, you're sitting by yourself and you like, wow, is I'm really ready for marriage like I say I am? Yeah, I desire it is in my heart. I still have love for marriages. I still believe in love. I still believe in marriage. And I know that in marriage is always going to be a work in progress every day. But am I really ready? And that's you asking yourself because you need to know what you need to do. What is it that you're gonna put first? This is the thing. It's like I can't be selfish anymore. And we have to think about this. Oh, it's not gonna be no I. It's gonna be we now. It's not gonna be I. So I'm gonna tell you also about me, y'all. Like I have a tendency if I want to go out and get something sweet, or if I be like, oh, I forgot this at the grocery store, I'm gonna go to the grocery store and get this. And it could be 8 o'clock at night, and I done said to myself this before you all a couple times. I said I can't keep running out the door at nighttime. Like we all know the world we live in, and I'm by myself and I'm going out. I'm like, oh yeah, because I'm just so used to up and going. Like, oh, let the grocery store right behind me because I stay in the middle of a shopping centers. Oh, it's just right behind me or whatever. I can just get up and go. Karen, yeah, at 8 o'clock at night, you're gonna be doing it when you get married too. You're gonna be running out whenever you get ready and don't say nothing to nobody. I can't do that. But like I said, I'm doing it now because I'm single. But the thing about it is, if I desire to be a wife, I gotta change that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pivot and I gotta be like, wait a minute, you can't do that. You can't just leave and not tell nobody. You know? So anyway, you all, I have somebody coming up on wisdom. Let's hear from Brittany. Let's hear from Brittany, y'all. Hey Brittany. Good morning. Awesome. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Mhm.
wanted to have him to myself, and I'm like, okay, he made a choice, but I can make a choice too. I'm not having sex with this man.
That's right.
I have sex, because for me, when I'm spending time with you, and that's the thing, I think sex is. I'm not trying to like say, hey, everybody, stay for sex, but for me, if I'm laying with you, my expectations skyrocket, and so it's hard to not want to do wifely things when you're, outside of the bedroom, when you're doing wifely things in the bedroom.
Right, exactly.
And so after his journey, and my whole thing, I was like, hey, I'm waiting for you. I'm like, hey, let's just co-parent, because my whole thing is like, I still have to deal with you, so I don't want to like have hate in my heart to where I can't even deal with you with our child. So let's just kind of cut this off now because you're not faithful, and you're priority. And over time, when he went on his journey, he was like, man, he just went around the block to get right next door. Like he's like, oh wow, you are the, hey, this relationship what I'm invested in. At that time, I thought I was done, and it's a whole testimony that I have. But God brought us back together. Like pretty much, God brought us back together because I had no desire, and he became more attracted to me. And even then, when we got back together, I'm like, hey, dude, we can get back together, but I'm like, I discovered myself, I found faith, and I'm really in a good place to where I don't feel like I need anybody.
Wow.
So we're going to make this work. I was like, I can't have. I'm like, I can't have sex. I'm like, we can be in a relationship. You can be my boyfriend. I can be your girlfriend, but like, we can't have sex. I'm like, I don't know how long this relationship is gonna last, but just let me know if you need to get out. Don't cheat on me. And he was like, man, like he was in another relationship for a year, and he was like, look, I just want another chance. He's like, I'll try whatever. And he was still pursuing his passion. Still pursuing his passion. He was still doing things. He still had graduated. But on his graduation day, he proposed to me.
Wow.
2 months later, he proposed to me on a special day that had to do with his future, his purpose. He made it about me. In front of his family. And then once we got married, like no joke, and he was the one who pointed this out to me. Like, once we got married, our businesses, our dreams, everything like multiplied. It multiplied. And of course he loved me. Of course I'm fine. I'm beautiful. I know
Okay.
But the one thing that he really saw in my man constantly bringing I bring something to the table. Like in the business, I'm like, hey, you gotta legitimize it. Let's make it an LLC.
Yeah.
So I'm helping this man's business. So this marriage has actually did the opposite of what people think. Oh yeah, if I get married, I'm gonna be distracted. No, like I'm putting ideas into the business.
Right.
I'm creating something like my husband is a gospel artist.
Okay.
And I was singing a melody. He's like, oh, let me hear that. He's like, oh, that's gonna be the hook for my next song. Like I'm putting into his business.
Yeah.
And then what he's giving me is he's prioritizing me and putting our home in the proper order. So he knows it's God, then it's me, then it's the kids. Because during the time that we were apart, I felt jealous of his passion for music. I was jealous of it. It was more of the other woman than the other women.
Wow.
Because he prioritized it. He would be in the studio all the time. He would just make it a priority. And then once he kind of let it go and like put our family in order, he didn't have to spend as much time in the studio. Because sometimes artists are kind of trying to find inspiration or trying to find a tune or a melody.
Right.
But because he was prioritizing and putting things first, putting his family first, and not out of like, this is what I gotta do because I'm a man, but he genuinely genuinely was like, man, like this woman, she's here for me. Like, let me help her out. Like, she helps me, I help her. And because that made his state of mind, he was in a peaceful state of mind.
Yeah.
He was able to access his creativity quicker. When he was on, and he even told me, he's like, man, it's hard out here being a single guy. He's like, you're always chasing after. It's like the energy was being spent chasing after women.
Wow. Wow.
Like that's a lot of the energy is these people. Men have to be real with themselves. It's like, okay, if you're pursuing your dream, like if you really want to, even my husband, like when he abstained from having sex, he was like, man, he was like, I work out harder. He's like, I wake up early. Like, you don't have the release, like you have to be creative and find other ways
right.
to put out that energy. And his music was like, he was like really like, he's like, man, my lyrics are because he was abstaining.
Yeah.
You know, and then I believe once we became married, it's still maximized because God blesses marriages. Like,
yes, he does.
It's just blessed. Like as soon as financially, all the little issues. And of course, marriage has issues. But all the like financial stuff outside our family just were working themselves out because we were in proper alignment.
Right.
We were in a proper flow. And I know I only have like 45 seconds left, but as far as preparing to be a wife for you, I would say keep on doing what you're doing. Like continue on your path of knowing yourself and like loving yourself and be okay being alone. Like I was looking for myself, and I would be cracking up, having a good time, and just because like that's what also what my husband likes about me. He knows I don't need him.
Right.
I don't need him to be around, but I just want him to be around. But I'm okay if he has to go travel.
Right.
And I want to say one thing about your trip to the grocery store, but okay, real quick. I go to the grocery store all the time at 8 o'clock. It's just about communication.
You can come back up, Brittany. I know the wisdom app times out. I gotta hear this. Go ahead, Brittany.
Yeah, I go. Okay, you know my last name is Moon, and that's one thing I love about my husband. Man, gave me the coolest last name. But no, like my husband and I, like all of us have worked together. We're Moon. We're really Moon. Night out, we stay up late, and like just the other night, I was like, he was in the studio, and I was like, man, I'm about to go to the store and get a bottle of wine. I'm like, it's just been a long day. He's like, okay. He's like, okay, call me when you free. And I just, you know, because I sometimes feel like, and I've had this over the course of we've been married like I don't even know 11 years. Yeah, 11 years. And sometimes my mind was watching me. I would adjust in the beginning. I'd be like, well, I'm working. And then over time, I'd be like in a funk, and I couldn't understand why. And like, say if that example, like, man, well, I gotta ask you to go to the store because it's inappropriate. And he would be like, what makes you think? he would be like, why are you putting all these extra like boundaries or like extra stuff on there? Because I just based on what I thought a marriage was from what I saw on TV and stuff. Because I've never seen a successful marriage. My mom, my grandma, my aunt, like I've never seen a successful marriage. So I'm just going off like, okay, what's supposedly appropriate or inappropriate. And what I realized is like our marriage is uniquely ours.
Yes.
Like we do things so different than other married couples, and with all due respect to what they do doesn't make me feel like I'm doing any less or any more. And like even with our situation, like initially my husband was the breadwinner of the family, and he had 2 jobs, and I had one job, and he always made more than me. And 8.5 years ago, I was like, I got a promotion, and I was supposed to get my real estate license in order to get the promotion, but I ended up quitting. And I quit because I prayed about it. I'm like, hey, I'm not ready, but I need to go full steam ahead in this real estate. Forget this being an employee. I'm going to be, independent contractor. When I did that, our finances like struggled. It struggled real bad. And we had married couples saying, "Hey, you're his helper. Why is he working two jobs? Why did leave your job? Creating an imbalance." But my whole thing was I prayed about it and I talked to him and I'm like, "How do you feel? Can I do this?" And he was like, "Go after your dreams, babe." And I'm like, "But what about the insurance?" He's like, I'll come to the insurance." I'm like, "But there's not enough. There's not enough. The bills to amount of income ratio is off." He's like, "Hey, don't worry about it." He's like, I feel a peace about it in my spirit too. Go after it. And the first couple of years were a struggle to the point where I was almost gonna get a job. I was almost gonna get a job just because I was looking like a wife was. I wasn't looking like a good wife.
Yeah.
But fast forward, like my income tripled and quadrupled in all the years that I didn't make up. Like I made a way more money than that over time,
Wow.
as I became in my career. And then once I got established in my career 4 or 5 years ago, his dream, he's like, "Hey, now that we're back where we need to be," he's like, "I really want to go out." He was in radio. He's like, "I really want to start this record label." And now on the flip side, I'm the breadwinner.
Wow.
He works from home. We have a studio at home, and he goes out and preaches and stuff like that. But people who came across us now, they're looking like, "Dang, you bring all the," and I'm like, "No, no, no." Like they don't know. Like our situation is very unique. I wouldn't, trade with anyone else. I have an understanding. He supported me during my grind, and I'm supporting him during the grind.
Awesome.
And as far as the naysayers, like, hey, he ain't your husband. You don't got to worry about him. But yeah, a lot of it is just communication and even boundaries. Like now, if you're married, if you like to go out at night and you're married, and you're dating a guy who's like, "Please stay home,"
Yeah.
those, I would really kind of look at who you're dating and you want to have a balance, but you don't want to be with someone who's making you compromise.
Right.
Who you are entirely as a person, because you can only play that role for so long before you get back to your true self. And for me and my husband, like it works. He knows like I'm a tough girl. Like ain't nobody. If somebody try to mess with me at 8 o'clock at night,
exactly.
I feel sorry for him. Like he knows I'm not. He knows I'm not scary. But at the same time, like now it's midnight or 1 a.m. and I really want something, especially if I'm pregnant. He'll be like, "Look, we just go get it," or But he's not gonna tell me if a husband says no. Like I'm a whole adult. You cannot punish me. You cannot tell me what to do.
That's right.
But I'm sorry for taking up.
No.
I just wanted to jump in.
I'm glad that you did. That is awesome. I'm glad for you to come up and share about you and your husband and give those tips and advice because, as singles, we need it.
Absolutely. And another thing is, what are you passionate about? Like your top things that you love to do, that you like to do for leisure.
I mean, I for one, I love family, so I like doing things, with family, and just having that, quality time. I need that quality time, so I know, like I was telling God, like whoever, I'm with, I know that you're not going to see anybody that's not going to give me the time and attention. I was like, because I need that. And like traveling. I mean, like I said, like you said, Brittany, y'all are night people. Like I like to go out. I don't like to just go out during the day, but I may want to go out late in the afternoon or something like that. And I know I forgot something, let me go. What I'm saying, get it or something like that. Somebody who's what I'm saying, understand it and funny. Like I love to laugh and I love to have fun and stuff like that. So that's a plus too.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that you continue to do those things that you like enjoy and just kind of just enjoy life where you're at.
Yeah.
Your path will will line up. Because I will tell you this, like as a married person with 4 kids, there's 6 people in my house, and I be thinking back every now and then. I think back to my time when I was by myself, or just me and my baby. I miss the quiet.
Yeah.
I miss the board. I miss the like. I just I miss the time. So I would enjoy where you're at, because I think that's how the enemy tries to come in. He wants you to never be satisfied.
Right.
He wants, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I want to be grown. When you're grown, oh, I want to have money. When you have money, you're like, okay, well, I want to be married. You marry, like, oh, we want to have kids. You have kids, you're like, man, I wish they were going. Like, you're never. He wants you to spend your whole life not satisfied instead of being in the present, because ultimately the present is where God is.
Right, exactly.
He does not want you to interact with God. He wants you to be out here alone, so he can, because that's what he does. He wants to separate you from the love of God. And when you know that nothing can separate you from the love of God, and you have a wholeness,
yes,
it's sexy, it's attractive.
Very.
It is. And even like, knowing what you want and like not bending. Like I have single friends, and they're like they finally found a relationship. They're about to move in, or they sleeping with the man. I'm like, man, you giving him everything I'm giving my husband.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no. Like, it's your work to pursue, and ultimately they like to pursue. One thing about my husband that attracted me to me is that he pursued me for a long time, and he's a very attractive guy. But I like to, when I see an attractive guy, I like to make him feel. Anyway, I made him wait the longest.
Yeah.
Nobody made him wait the longest than I did, and I got him. I'll leave on that note.
Yep. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you for having me. Have a good one.
You too. Have a good day. Thanks so much for Brittany for coming up and sharing advice and expertise, you all. And we are out of time. I really enjoyed Brittany coming up, and I definitely hope you all definitely got something out of it. And we're definitely going to have this relationship panel. So if you are a couple, or if you are single, and if you don't agree about preparing to be a wife or a husband before marriage, I want to hear from you. And so there are ways to email me. There are ways to get in touch with me about the panel, and I will give you the topics that we will discuss. And so, thank you guys for coming in and listening. And so, I am getting ready to jump off now. We will be back Thursday for What's Your Therapy conversation. Again, I don't give a time because I know it could be morning, evening, or night, or whatnot. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.